Okay, so today we're gonna dive into something pretty interesting. The
Yeah.
UK's economic relationships after Brexit,
Right.
especially with the US and the EU,
Mm-hmm.
we've got some really interesting stuff to look at here.
Definitely.
A former advisor to Donald Trump,
Okay.
Stephen Moore,
Right.
he kind of stirred the pot a little bit
Okay.
by suggesting that the UK needs to choose sides,
Mm.
like align with the US free market approach
Okay.
or stick with what he called the EU's socialist model.
Oh, wow.
That term socialist, I think,
Yeah,
that definitely raised some eyebrows,
for sure.
and it really gets to the heart of the debate.
Yeah. I think Moore's statement really kind of lays bare this fundamental tension
Yeah.
that the UK is facing.
Right.
He argues that by aligning with the US economically, a US-UK trade deal becomes much more likely and potentially more favorable.
That makes sense on the surface.
Right.
But what's the reality of the UK's current trade relationships?
Yeah, so the numbers tell a pretty compelling story.
Okay.
Before Brexit, the US was the UK's second largest trading partner,
Okay.
accounting for about 18% of their trade.
Got it.
But the EU, at 43%, was by far their biggest partner,
Wow.
more than double.
Okay.
So the UK is in a tricky spot,
Yeah.
potentially sacrificing strong ties with a major trading bloc for the promise of something better with the US.
Yeah, that's quite a balancing act.
Yeah.
So how is the UK government approaching this? How are they...
Well, Prime Minister Starmer and Chancellor Reeves have both emphasized maintaining strong relationships
Okay.
with both the US and the EU.
So trying to keep everybody happy.
Seems like it.
That sounds like a diplomatic tightrope walk.
Definitely.
What's their actual strategy?
Well, Reeves in particular is pursuing a dual strategy.
Okay.
She's proposed collaborating closely with the U.S. on technology, a sector where the U.S. excels.
Right.
But simultaneously, she's highlighted the importance of strengthening existing ties with the EU,
Yeah.
especially considering, the continued importance of that trading relationship.
Right. Interesting. So almost like trying to bridge two different
Yeah,
economic philosophies.
exactly.
Do you think that's achievable?
It's an ambitious goal, for sure.
Yeah.
Some critics would argue that trying to play both sides will leave the UK stuck in a no man's land,
Right.
unable to fully reap the benefits of either system.
Okay.
Others, however, see it as an opportunity for the UK to forge a unique path,
Uh-huh.
maybe even becoming a leader in finding ways to integrate different economic models.
So could the UK actually become a kind of economic Switzerland? What would that even look like?
That's the big question. Could they find ways to harmonize regulations, standards, and practices between the US and the EU systems? Could they leverage their position to facilitate trade and investment between these two economic powerhouses? It's a fascinating possibility.
Yeah, it is a lot to ponder. What stands out to you about this balancing act the UK is attempting? Is it sustainable in the long run?
Well, I think what's really fascinating here is the potential for the UK to carve out this new role
Yeah.
in the global economy.
Right.
Rather than being forced to choose sides, this situation might push them to become a bridge between these different models.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to innovate and lead by finding common ground and crafting new solutions.
Interesting.
It's something to think about, isn't it?
It absolutely is a lot of food for thought here as we consider the future of the UK's economic relationships.
Definitely.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
Of course.
Always a pleasure.
Likewise.
We'll catch you next time
That's good.
for another deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.